Hi, what we're going to have a look at today is yet another Raspberry Pi image for running a DStar node using Jonathan Naylor's software. Okay, the Raspberry Pi images seem to be very popular, and a good option for somebody who wants something ready to go without the knowledge or without having to put the work in to get it sorted themselves. Okay, what you see on the screen is nothing unusual. It's typical of these images. I'll just turn the radio down a minute, turn it off. Okay, it's typical of the Raspberry Pi images. If they don't do that, then there's not a lot of point really. Okay, and we've started up one of the modems. In this case it's a DVAP and the gateway software, and you can see it was a little bit quicker than some other options starting up and connecting. Right, it seems to work very well. There are people that I've had quite a few emails of people, how do I start the StarNet server, how do I start the timer control and other options, and this image is all about, or the widget I've developed and in the middle of doing, is to make all these options much easier and a bit more flexible. Okay, and there's some people, they like to run the full-blown GUI, the desktop, as you see there, and others don't. They want to run the software as daemons running in the background, and some even headless. Well, this will give you all those options. If we just look in the bottom left hand corner, you can see the CPU usage, I would say, or the system resources is about 20% there. Okay, that's running the two applications on the desktop. Right, so what we're going to do, we can open up this this widget. Okay, it's a little bit sluggish, the widget, and you can see it's quite demanding on start up there, but you only need it for configuration, you don't need it to run it. Okay, and the first option we're going to look at is just to run these two same applications, right, but run them as daemons. Okay, save the configuration. Yes, we still want to start to the desktop in this case, right, and then restart. I'm going to turn the radio back on so we can tell when it's connected and if the DVAP has started. It seems a little bit quicker starting up than the Debian version, but I'm hoping that this widget will give some people the flexibility perhaps they've been missing. Certainly it's working okay for me. It needs to be developed even further, possibly add in extra features, and there you are, you can tell that it's connected there. They're obviously running these applications, but they're running as daemons, right, and not a GUI application. So it was as simple as that really, and if we wanted to, if we were, as some people, I can't see the mouse pointer on this light. There it is, okay. Alright, if we open the widget again, okay, the major development I need to follow on with the widget is, at this moment in time, unfortunately, any changes you make, you have to save and restart. Okay, and some people might find that irritating, but there will eventually be and apply button. So you change your configuration, click apply, and it'll stop and start different services as you require. But that is quite involved. You'll need to take better control of the process IDs. That is work in progress, and it will come. Okay, so just have a quick look around before we make any other changes. You can see that you've got 4 modems there. Well, you think a Raspberry Pi running 4 modems is a little over ambitious, and I'd have to agree, but as we'll see a little bit later on, not that over ambitious, if you like. Okay, so to configure your first modem, you click the button that's marked configure. I apologise for the colour scheme. It's not a flashback from the 60s. It's the application I used. Lacked a little finesse really with colour management and things. Okay, so that was just your configuration application for the modem, and of course you'd have the same one for the gateway, and of course you've got a separate application for, well, it's the same application called slightly differently for all 4 modems. You don't have the option with the gateway and the first modem not to run them. Okay, that is now the gateway configuration. If I drag that over there, right, okay, I've gone on to the next desktop. Right, so I'll bring that back. I'd better bring this back first. Okay, maybe I could do away with having 2 desktops. Right, okay. Right, so that's the gateway configuration, and again I'll call up the repeater configuration, or the modem if you like, and they are 2 separate applications, as you can see. As yet I'm not aware of how good this display is for you, but hopefully it's readable anyway. Okay, so I'll just close that down. Right, what we could do now is well, first of all, what we'll do, we'll start the time server and the timer control as GUIs. Now the other 2, the network connection, the gateway connection rather, and the daemon and the first modem, they will still start and run as daemons. Okay, just to prove the point, I've just configured the time server and the timer control to start up as GUI, so we can see them on the desktop. But the same option is available for those. Any of the applications that can run as GUIs or daemons, the option is there. Okay, we could even run without the desktop at all and run everything as daemons. Okay, I'll turn the radio back on so we can hear it connecting. And you can see that there's the 2. The other 2 applications, the gateway and the modem 1, have obviously, I turn the radio off again, has obviously started as daemons. Now these have started as GUIs. Okay, so we can configure them to do whatever we want. Right. And as you can see, I've already configured the timer control. I set the delay because it tends to be more reliable with the delay being on in this case. Okay, we'll close them down. Right. I will have another look at the widget. Okay, you can double click on the widget. I just find with this particular mouse it's easier for me to right click and then click open. Right, okay, there are two other modems connected to this Raspberry Pi. Okay, obviously through a powered hub, and the one is this one is a GMSK modem, right, and the other one is it's DVR PTR version 1. Okay, I'm going to set both these to start as GUIs so you can see them, and bearing in mind the other two applications will still start as daemons. Again, apologies for having to save and reboot every time, but that is a fix in the pipeline. I'll turn the radio back on just to prove the point. You should use two other connections as well now if the modem start up. Okay, so it will be slightly confusing because you may have three different radios announcing their connections in time. A little bit slower started up now because it's obviously doing a little bit more work. There's one. The other one. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. They're all three. Right, this one is the GMSK modem. Right, and this one is the DVR PTR modem. I didn't turn these off in the widget, but I'll do that now. Okay, let's open the widget. Okay, I'm going to turn the DVAP radio off. Okay, I'm going to turn the DVAP radio off. And when the widget opens, it's a bit sluggish because it's doing a lot more work now, but we are running three modems, two extra applications, and the gateway, all on a Raspberry Pi. Okay, and what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to turn the time server and timer control off. Okay, so they won't start next time. I'm going to turn the other two modems, so we got all three modems now to start as daemons. Okay, I'll save that and save and restart. Okay, I'll turn the volume up on these radios if you can hear them start. That should be okay. Sorry about the poor lighting, by the way. It's one of the few sunny days we have in South Wales, and this had to be done today because I've borrowed a little bit of the gear off friends of mine, and they need it back. Okay. Okay, you there you can see the other two modems have started up. Okay, I turned off the busy one. I'll turn it back on now. I wonder if it's still busy. Yes. Okay. We've got it all going on there now. I'm trying to talk over a couple of channels. Okay, now we've still got the desktop. We've been running three modems. Okay, we're running the gateway connection, right? but because they're running as daemons and not as GUIs, without the graphical overhead. If you now have a look at the, if you can see that is, okay, of the CPU usage, just got a little blip there, but that is about 25%, okay, that's 25% running 3 modems. That's the GMSK modem, which is it's built into a Tate radio from North Hans DStar. It's a DVR PTR version 1 board, and the other one is a DVAC, okay? And the whole thing is cobbled together today just for the demonstration. Normally I only run the DVAP and the GMSK node. Okay, so there we go, that's that so far. Alright, and what we can do, of course, is open a widget again. Okay, you can see the CPU usage is soared there because the widget is okay. Now, as I said earlier on, we can actually run the whole thing, right, without the desktop at all. We can run it in the console, okay. So I'll save that. I'll restart now. Right, I'll turn all 3 radios on. Now the restart should be a little bit quicker, even though we start in 4 or 5 applications. We haven't got any graphical overhead. Okay, this is running on a 512 Model B. It does actually run on the 256K. There you can see the desktop login. I'll put a couple of instructions there to start the desktop from where you are, okay, and or to exit from there. Alright. Okay, see the radios have connected. All 3 have started there, and then we're running as a GUI, okay? So for that now,
G4 Wild B, call 4 Yankees Lima, Cowboy G4 Wild B listening, I'm ready for any call.
okay. I apologise to anybody whose call sign has appeared. I haven't had their permission, so all I'm going to do is say start X, which is the instructions on the screen. Press enter, I'll start the desktop, okay. Further development will be a non-GUI configuration, a startup configurator as well, okay. That doesn't help with configuring the devices themselves, like your modem parameters and whatever. I still do those through the GUI because I find it easier. Alright, so let's have the last look at the widget. Okay. Turn off one of these radios. The other one I can't reach, so I'll have to put up with that in a second. Turn off another one. Okay, and there we go. So on this we have the StarNet server. You click start. You'd have to do that to configure it. Okay, then edit your settings for the StarNet server. Okay. Okay. And then save. And then once you've done your configuration, alright, you then have the option to again run that as a GUI, not running it at all, right, or running as a daemon. Okay, VNC well, there is a VNC option. I'm using the keyboard and mouse connected to this Pi at the moment. Excuse me. Okay. I'm using the keyboard and mouse, but equally as well, I could use the VNC, right? And that's the startup option for the VNC. Okay. And you can see everything's a little less cluttered. It's a little bit leaner, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. If you do, then I'll develop it further and perhaps put the voice transmit and text transmit text box there, and select the repeater, click the button, and off we go. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this short video. Okay, any feedback, good or bad, is always useful, but because this is a very busy time at work for me at the moment, right? The time is well, it's the end of May. Okay, very busy time for me now until the summer. I may not respond to your feedback, whether if it's complimentary or critical. I just probably won't find the time to respond to it, but don't think it's being ignored. Okay, so there we go, that's it. You just exit that. Okay, log out, shut down. My name is Brian and the call sign is GW6WTK. Thanks for watching.